So welcome to Return of the Chance. I'm your co-host, Roxas. And today we have a very special episode where we talk about stuff. I didn't read the script. On my left, we have, introduce yourself, good sir.
Ricky572.
And on my right, we have,
Nivek.
and the gentleman right in front of me.
Yours truly, Edward.
Or Round Fit Line.
No, Edward.
Okay.
Now that you met all these folks, so let's get started with today's episode.
If you haven't noticed, Rox has had some teeth pulled and his voice is going to be a bit off.
I can't feel my face.
He has cotton mouth.
Unfortunately.
Yep. So, we're going to start with you, Nivek. So,
Well, how was your day, Kevin?
My day was fine. My brother took me out to eat Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles.
I know, I
lucky
could have went
bitch.
there, but
Lucky
I didn't get an invite,
No invite.
so it's all good.
It was my brother invited me. He paid for my meal.
I could have paid for my meal.
I'm sorry. It was short notice. I went to wash my car, and he was just like, hey, you want to go eat Roscoe's? Okay.
Well, at least the squad mobile is clean now, so Kevin could drive us to places.
I'm just waiting for the other one to come back.
Oh, that's the actual squad mobile?
The other one's bigger. It has more room.
Alright.
It'll be more comfortable for Courtney here. Or, sorry, Roxas.
Because how tall are you, Roxas?
6'5".
6'5".
And he got a
6'6",
We got a
big,
basketball,
long
basketball player here. JK.
How's your day, Edward?
Good. I just waited on Kevin the whole day.
I said I'm sorry, all right?
I was waiting for that invite, because when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay. And Courtney's at work, so I couldn't contact him.
No working
I
man.
ate, and I went home, reorganized my monster binder a little bit. That's all I did. And then I came here. Well, I came to get Courtney, and then came here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Courtney, how was your day?
I had a good fucking day. I got paid for essentially doing nothing, so it's a really good day.
Orientation, right?
Yeah. Yep, new hire orientation.
Let's congratulate Courtney on getting the job.
Yep.
Big
Thanks.
round of applause.
Working on my second one right now.
Night job?
Yeah. Gotta keep the cash flowing, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Isn't gonna pay for itself. This game is expensive.
Damn.
That's very true. That's
I
very
agree.
true. All right, then.
I let the record show that Dominic is not here again.
I swear to God, we're going to kick him off. He probably got high and fell asleep again.
Hey, low-key, fuck him.
I called him right after I got off work. I was like, so you're coming? And he was like, yeah, I just finished eating.
My ass.
Can I bring my girlfriend?
Oh,
He was like, I'm bringing my girlfriend. I was like, okay. And then I got home.
nothing. Such a shame.
Second strike, Domo. Second strike.
Wasted potential.
Second strike.
Don't worry, Dom. I'm still on your side. Nah, fuck him. He late.
Calling in absent.
Calling. He didn't even call off. He didn't give me a notice.
No call, no
No
show.
show.
No show. That's the second time.
All right.
All right, so once again, this is Return of the Chance. This is episode 4, and today we're going to talk about Shaddolls.
Anyway,
Okay, well, the structure deck just recently dropped. Shaddolls, popular deck to play back in the Duelist Alliance era.
How long have they been out, Kevin? Because I
Duel-
just heard about it. I just got back into the game, so I just heard about Shaddolls.
like I mentioned before, I mean, you probably didn't play during that era. I did. And it was a pretty tough, diverse meta, actually, during that time. It was like, what, 2014, 2015, I believe? Pretty much like the first set where pendulums were introduced, actually. So they came out in the pendulum era, but ironically, pendulums...
Right after Pendulum?
No. The first set of the pendulum era. So Duelist Alliance was the first set that introduced pendulums.
And they came out in that?
They came out in that set, yeah, along with Teller Knight and Yang Xing. Those were the popular decks at the time, and Shaddol was a really great deck choice. I think what made them, in my opinion, pretty powerful, to begin with. I mean, I'm sure people are familiar with Allied Justice Catastor. Well, they have a fusion monster, which is Construct. I'm sure everyone knows that thing's been banned for a while until recently. They took it off.
Banned, it will stay. Wait.
No, it's off the list. Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with
Yeah, it's
that?
at 3. You can play 3 now.
Oh
What
my God.
was so bad about Construct?
Well, I mean,
it's a foolish burial.
okay, yeah, On summon, it's a foolish, and then when it battles special summon monsters, it just destroys them without going
I
to
forgot
damage.
about that effect.
That's why I said like it sort of reminds me of Catastor, where Catastor just battles anything that's like not dark. It just kills it really, without having to go through damage. So I mean, Construct at that time was just really powerful. I mean, of course, it also had that floating effect where if it got destroyed or sent to the grave, whatever, you get to foolish. A Shaddol.
No, you get a Shaddol card back to the hand if it gets destroyed.
Is that right?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I got that mixed up. Yes. On summon, it foolishes, and when it floats when it's destroyed, you get retrieve a Shaddol card.
So that's why.
When it's just sent to the graveyard, not when it's destroyed. It just has to be sent.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's your answer why it was banned.
I mean, I can't really tell you why it was banned. In my opinion, I think it should have never been banned. I know it's a powerful like boss monster, but
because at the time wasn't it like different? It was a Master of 4 where exactly. So you could still summon.
We were playing in the
but you could summon as many infusions. Yeah, now a Master of 5 is gonna be he's gonna come back to its thing.
It was played in the Pepe era.
I'm gonna sock you. I swear to God.
Tier 0. You guys were not around during that time.
Okay, well that's pendulums, right?
We couldn't afford it, Kevin.
Yeah, no. Neither could I. That's why I was still playing my weak ass shit.
Exactly, with your trash ass machines.
Fuck up. Anyways, yeah. So the deck came out recently with some very new support, which I think picks up their speed a whole lot.
I actually picked up 3 structure decks, so I know what came in it, and I actually kind of built a little deck from it.
Budget. Not bad.
A little budget deck,
but it works.
Sort of.
It works.
It's not budget if you put Dangers and Nebulosa.
Okay, well.
I mean, I only spent technically $60.
All right.
All right, you spent, but for other people,
for someone
if people that want to get into make that deck that you have,
okay,
there's gonna be like $200-$300.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a bit.
Chill.
We'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, Kevin, what's their playstyle like?
Well, none of us
know that. Well,
of
course, they're a fusion-based archetype.
Yeah.
They have their fusion monsters are all of different attributes. So they try to take advantage of that. So I think like super polymerization is like, I mean, that card wasn't around I believe at the time, and they brought it back. Now that it's at 3, I mean, you could definitely take advantage of all your matchups because you come across any deck and they'll be playing fire, water, wind, earth, no matter. They have a fusion for it, basically. Although the wind one isn't as popular. But the most popular ones are like Construct, of course. It was banned for a reason, and it came back. And, it's a resurgence now. So that came back. Was it Gristia? I mean, no one really plays the fire one, but if that matchup ever occurs, you have that option.
The fire one negates a special summon, right?
Yeah, it can negate summons.
Yeah,
I think the...
Window.
Water one? Oh, Window's pretty.
Window, of course. Window is like that's a floodgate. It's a floodgate. It can't. It stuns special summoning. So we have that around. I play it, and it could be. It's a really good instant fusion target.
It's like an end board card though too,
yeah,
right?
Of course.
So
if
once you do everything,
build a board, summon your window. If you have a way to protect it, like how I play in Orcus, just use the Girsu detach. It's really useful. It really does put a lock on your opponent,
But in Shaddolls' case, you don't have to, save it because you'll just do El Shadow Fusion or something like that. Yeah, so it's...
Yeah, no, of
it's
course.
a good-ass card in Shaddolls,
definitely.
obviously.
But, I mean, basically how they all work, though, I mean, not just the fusions, but, like, of course, they're main deck monsters. They're primarily flip effects.
Flip effects.
So they have...
Old school Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yes, definitely. That's very old school Yu-Gi-Oh! So what Konami did here... they basically brought back that mechanic when they first got introduced.
Yeah.
They actually made flip monsters viable, and we've even seen hybrids throughout time. Like I think another particular archetype that came out, Prediction Princess, which is like a ritual based archetype, but their boss monster is able to manipulate their flip effects, puts them face down, flip them up, trigger. But not only do they
I've seen it.
Yeah, and not only do they have flip effects, they also have effects when they're sent to the graveyard by a card effect, not cost. So be careful how you send them to the grave. But they also have like really good triggers.
So they have 2 effects.
Yeah, they essentially have 2 effects: a flip effect and an effect that triggers when they get sent to graveyard
by a card effect.
By any means, yeah.
So
by a card effect, not cost.
Dark World. Dark
Basically,
World.
basically kind of like a
no, not Dark World.
Well,
yeah,
Dark
actually,
World,
yeah,
if,
Dark,
yeah,
yeah,
if
Dark,
they're,
yeah, 'cause
if
they
they're
trigger-
discarded, yeah,
Yeah,
where effect,
but not for cost. It can't. No, if you discard them for cost, then they don't trigger.
Yeah.
They have to be cut by a card effect. The card effect itself has to have the discarding, not the cost. But
And what is their play style like? Like, are they kind of build a board type deck, like a control deck, or like
They could
more like a?
they could definitely be a control deck.
Yeah,
As I
that's-
mentioned before, it is a fusion archetype. So what makes them unique, or at least in most cases, like different from the rest. So their main fusion spell card, Shaddolls Fusion.
Yeah.
It's a really nice going second card. I mean, in my opinion, because
it's like
because the way
if your opponent controls a special summon monster thing.
Yeah,
you can
that's-
summon
yeah, so it
these
has to be-
material from deck, right?
yeah, they control an extra deck monster that was summoned from the extra deck. Still, you play Shaddolls Fusion, and you can basically send the materials from the deck to grave. And that's what makes it powerful, because then, of course, you get your fusion summon, and then whatever materials you send to the graveyard with Shaddolls Fusion, they get their effects triggered also. So that's why it's like, to me, in my opinion, it's a really like versatile going second option. Because if you go first, I mean, Shaddolls Fusion, you're gonna have to do it like the old school way.
Just using field and hand.
using field in hand. But Shaddolls Fusion, you know, it gives you more versatility to use materials from your deck.
Yeah.
That's powerful within itself, because, I mean...
From the deck.
Yeah.
From the deck.
Yes, from the deck. Yes.
And it'll trigger the effects
Yes.
of all the Shaddolls. What are some of its strengths and weaknesses for El Shaddolls?
Well, of course, the strength is the versatility, fusion-based deck. Since their fusion monsters are somewhat typically generic, say, for example, like Shaddolls Construct, for example, it requires one Shaddolls monster and a light attribute monster. So, you know, if you're trying to be fun and, like, you know, say you're going second, you know, you can go on ahead and add versatile light monsters, like, you know, like, what is that one? Trick Clown? Yeah, Perform Mage Trick Clown, like, gets sent to the grave. And it summons itself by taking 1,000 damage. You know, that's a really easy fusion summon when you play Shaddolls Fusion. Send any useful Shaddolls that you need active right now. And then the Trick Clown, not only you get your construct, you also get another body, an extender. But also, not just that, but say you can now main deck Super Polymerization. You take your opponent's light monster. They can't respond to Super Polymerization, so...
And they have a bunch of fusion monsters with different attributes.
Yes,
So
they
you
do.
can super poly whatever,
Pretty
basically.
much. Yeah. I mean, whatever the matchup may be. Although I'd say right now, I mean, the least popular one is the Wind one, Wendigo. No one really plays that one.
No one plays Wind.
Yeah,
Wait,
unfortunately.
aren't True Dracos Wind?
No, they're all different attributes.
Oh, fuck.
No, I'm saying like I'm just saying like in terms of like what they... I know I've seen these decks like through time.
Yeah.
But like the ones they play... Yeah, they're not playing Wendigo. It's the wind attribute Shaddolls.
It's probably the
fusion.
weakest one, too.
Yeah, it's just a wall, really. It's just a defender. That's all it is. All the other ones actually have a use, unfortunately.
Yeah. And what are some of its weaknesses?
Some weaknesses, of course, like I say, they have effects that trigger when they go to graveyards, so they're very graveyard reliant when they want their effects to go off. So I mean, you flip a Macrocosmos on them, it's gonna be a grind game for them.
They can't do shit.
Yeah, they don't want it. They don't want their stuff to get banished. So you know, good luck with that. Also, I mean, they're dark attributes. So I mean, dark. Even though that is a strength for them too, a lot of them are darks in the grave. I mean, in the deck. So I mean, you could play support cards like Lure of Darkness and whatnot, like generic dark cards. But there's also like I guess dark monster hate or something like. I mean, you could play, what's that one card that hits them in the grave? I think Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. I mean, I'm not sure if people still play that as a side, but, they could get hit by things like that where, like, it negates, like, dark monsters on the field and in the grave. But, of course, they also play different attributes. But, as I mentioned, graveyard reliant, I mean, they can get hit.
So anything that does, like,
that messes
controls
with
the graveyard?
Yeah,
yeah.
you can really mess them up.
Okay.
Called by the Grave, of course, staple.
Yeah.
You can like DD Crow certain cards, like if they want to retrieve something back. Like trust me, it's that's to me is a weakness of theirs. But I mean they can always circumvent that. I mean you play Shaddolls with different cards. Like most recently, now that this deck has been out, like the new structure deck, I've already seen people playing it with like the Invoked engine, or they're also playing it with the Mech Knights. That's insane. And then, of course, in the past, we've had Train Shaddolls, we've had Dino Shaddolls, which I'm sure they're still around, as rogue options.
I've actually never faced any of those. I just played against regular Shaddolls, but never faced a
mixture.
Yeah. I know they exist.
They exist, yeah.
They exist, but I never played against them.
Yeah. No, it's fun. It really is fun. Like, for example, like the Train Shaddolls, I mean, the reason why they've been played with trains before is because they're Earth Fusion, which is a Shikanaga. So it's a machine and it's level 10, so it has synergy with the train monsters, which are level 10 machines mostly. So like that's an example, yeah. I mean, but it's cool. Like that's like the strengths that they have. I think their strengths outweigh their weaknesses, because I mean most decks are graveyard reliant. So I mean that's like a weakness for like a lot of like meta decks. But their strength is that they're versatile. They can be played as an engine, or you can also put an engine in Shaddolls, however you want to see it. They have really great versatility.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to the El Shaddol structure deck that just came out. Friday last week. Yeah. I did pick up 3 of them.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, that was my Valentine's Day.
Sheesh.
Thank you to Edward. Shout out to Edward, who went to pick them up for me at Core TCG. Kevin, you didn't pick one up, so...
No, I didn't.
No, but do you know what cards came in it? I know what cards came in. I could talk about it.
I wish you brought the cards. I mean, the one notable card that I know that have made an impact for them is the new Wind main deck monster. El Shaddol Windy.
Windy.
Yeah, El Shaddol Windy.
That one's special summons from the deck.
Yeah, that's a pretty powerful effect, because that's something that Shaddolls did not have before. So they have it now. They have that option. They have the monster that can finally bring him out of the deck. But really, that's the only one I know of.
I know Ariel is a new one as well.
Oh, yeah, Ariel's definitely a new one.
She special summons El Shaddol that's banished.
Yeah, because it has an effect where it can banish. Its flip effect can banish 3 from...
No. It's when it's sent to the graveyard, it banishes 3 from...
And when it's flip face up, it summons from
the...
okay.
Yeah, banished. Yeah, so that's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
The new trap card as well.
The new trap is Shaddol Incarnation, yeah.
Yeah, Shaddol Incarnation. Yeah. Let's talk about Shaddol Incarnation first.
Okay, so
we got Shaddol Incarnation. Basically, it special summons one in face-up defense or face-down defense position, Kevin? Which one is it?
Yeah, it's both. You can choose. Summon face-up defense, face-up defense, or face-down defense, and then you can banish this card and a Shaddol in your grave. You activate one of these effects, that's 2. You can change one face-down monster you control face-up defense, or change one face-up monster you control to face-down, and you're going to do one of that effect per turn and only once that turn.
Yeah, so you can only use either the special summon one turn, or you could either flip one face up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but there's a pretty cool combo that I actually learned with it that you could do, and basically I could do a Apollosa the first turn with that.
This guy. No, but yeah, it has versatility options. It's really good.
Yeah,
especially the trap effect when you use it later in the duel. To like flip something or flip it face up, flip it face down. You want to trigger something I think in my opinion that's pretty good.
Yeah, and some other. So now going back to the other notable cards, we were saying Twin Twisters, Allure of Darkness, Super Poly, Armageddon Knight, Black Luster,
Pot of Avarice, which recently came off the list.
Yeah, Pot of Avarice.
Yeah.
It comes with a bunch of good cards.
Lava Golem.
Lava Golem too.
The OG Kaiju. Mathematician, Living Fossil, Lost Wind. I mean, yeah, this deck has really great value.
So for the cards it comes with, it's worth it.
You got Dad in here.
It's worth it.
Yes. So,
I actually bought 3 for $27, so I'm happy about that.
Must be nice.
It was nice, Kevin.
Uh-huh.
It was nice. Yeah.
What else?
Anyways, to the future of El Shaddolls.
It could definitely stand by itself.
Yeah. Now it can stand by itself, or it could stand by itself before.
Well, before when you were able to mix it, but nowadays, I mean, even though it would be cool to play it as a pure deck.
So before it wasn't as good by itself.
Well, it was definitely good. It was meta. It was definitely meta defining when they were first released. But of course, the power creeps happen, and Shaddolls just became one of those like rogue decks. But eventually, now that we got this deck out, I mean, the new support that we've gotten for that, it's you can mix it with stuff, definitely, especially with the modern day like archetypes like Invoked, as I mentioned before.
Yeah.
I was like, I've seen on YouTube like all these decks that have been like topping, and they've incorporated like Invoked, and then some have incorporated like the Mech Knight Invoked, even though like that's a deck on its own, and it's like, okay, now I'm gonna throw Shaddolls in there, like, and then of course like I'm sure we're gonna see a resurgence in like Dino Shaddolls and like Train Shaddolls. Like, trust me, like the support, the new support that they received. I mean, especially now with how the ban list is, with being able to utilize Super Poly. It's got its potential and versatility.
I think so. So.
And I mean, with the new Master Rule coming out, it's just gonna get better. They're not gonna be so.
They're not gonna be limited.
I mean, they're not gonna be so reliant on Link monsters. Although
columns.
Although they'll still play cross sheep, because that's really versatile for them, because their cross sheep's fusion effect. You summon a fusion there, you get to summon a level 4 lower from your grid.
Yeah,
that's like, oh my god, like they'll still play that. That's probably about it. But other than that, I mean, they're not locked into just using the extra monster zone first. So I'm sure people are gonna ask, is it worth buying the set? I mean, this is definitely.
It's very worth it.
You'll get
it is very worth buying the set for $10. Don't pay $20.
Yeah, don't pay no more than the $10 plus the $9.99 plus tax. Don't pay no more than that.
Go buy them out at Target, Walmart. Or, you know what? Actually, I haven't really seen that many cards at like Target or Walmart anymore.
I mean, we live in LA, so it's must be really popular. People just.
We should make a trip to the Valley or something and see what they got out there, just to buy out their inventory at Target.
Let's go up to the one by the Sanix.
I'm down. We'll just make a trip there. We'll make a little trip to just to buy the cards. I mean, we could hit Sonic too.
And we'll grab something to eat. But yeah, I mean, we got that going on. Yeah, it's worth it. Just you'll get your money back for sure. I mean, you'll get more than that. I mean, as we mentioned before, we saw Wendy like being a $3 to $4 card. I mean, that's already like almost half of the money. And you got the little staple cards like Super Poly, Allure, like those are all $2, $3 cards. The Avarice, the Blacklisted Soldier.
Initially, that's why I went for the structure deck, just because of the Super Polys, the Allures, and everything else that it comes with it. I wasn't really focused on the Shaddolls. I did want to learn about them, but my main interest was the other cards that came along with it.
And what do you think of the deck, Edward?
It's cool. I think Richard played it. It's pretty cool. It's just missing a lot of combos.
Yeah, it is. Basically, I only have one combo I could do with it, and that's the only thing I know about it so far. But when I do bust it out, it's basically a window lockdown or an Apollosa that I built. I wish Damo was here so he could teach me.
Right. Yeah, we had Dominic. He played the deck like a long time ago.
Yeah, he's an expert with this deck. This was his deck.
I don't want to say expert.
Okay. This was his deck, though, so he knows more about it.
Yeah, this is something he played a long time ago.
How do you used to run him? Just pure?
Oh, yeah, just pure, yeah. You didn't really mix it with much. I mean, the little light engine to be able to summon Construct. Because, I mean, at the time, Perform Mages were out, so Trick Clown was the go-to to send with Shaddol Fusion. And I think other variants that existed, too, like you play with, like, the Lightsworn cards. Because Lightsworns, they just help you mill. So if you mill, like, a certain card, I mean, certain Shaddol, it'll trigger, like that. So, I mean, those were options, too.
Kind of the same thing as now, then.
Yeah, I mean,
with a bit more support.
Yeah, now. A little bit of support. I mean, those new cards. I mean, the Wendy, the Ariel, and the Trap card. I mean, they make them a bit more significant. And then also their new fusion monster. I can't even pronounce its name. Apcoloni or something.
Which is just two Shaddolls with different attributes, right?
Yeah,
that's the one. Okay.
That's the only Shaddol fusion monster that's actually like. The fusion materials are different. I think all the other ones just require Shaddol and its appropriate attribute, which I mean, it's still more it's pretty more versatile. But this one, I mean, of course, in order to really summon Al Capone, Apcoloni. Sorry, that's how you say it, Apcoloni. You just gotta you have to play the wind and the water one, the aerial and the windy.
Okay, so we're gonna be starting a new segment called Card of the Day. So every week we're gonna take one card and basically talk about it and talk about how it could help out a deck, or what decks you play it in, what are its strengths, what are its weaknesses. Just one card. It could be a random card.
I mean, okay, you got one right now?
I guess we could just talk on Wendy, how it helps. We already basically talked about Wendy, but
well, we know. I mean, if an archetype that lets you summon from the deck is pretty powerful, RIP Harp Horror. But yeah, that's how Wendy, like, it definitely improves the Shaddolls deck. Like,
she's a Harp Horror of the El Shaddolls deck.
In a way, yeah.
In a way,
yeah. Doesn't have to banish itself. You just put it in the grave and bam, brings it out.
That's it. So that's why Wendy is the card of the day.
I agree.
All right, so that's going to be it for our take on El Shaddolls. Thank you guys for listening. So we just got approved today by Google Play. So we will be on that soon. We're going to be uploading our podcast on there.
Nice.
And last week we got approved by iTunes. Not iTunes, but Apple Podcasts. So our podcast is now on Apple Podcasts.
That's pretty significant.
Yeah, so you can go listen to it there now, along with our Podbean app. And we are also on SoundCloud. And Edward has been doing a good job on putting our podcast up on YouTube for those who don't have access to the other platforms.
And of course, we have certain pack openings, including my failure at pulling Appaloosa.
You might do better tomorrow. You never know. You never know.
Hopefully, but I mean, I'm gonna be itching to open it, so I don't know, man.
Let's wish Kevin some good luck on trying to pull Appaloosa tomorrow. If not, I swear to God, I'm gonna start a GoFundMe page for you.
It's okay. I'll just buy another one.
Stop. That's a lot of money.
I know, but I just can't. It's a game, man. It's so good.
But yeah, thank you guys for listening. Go follow us on Instagram at Return of the Chance, and also our YouTube channel.
Team ROTC.
Is that it, or is it?
Yeah,
it's
Team ROTC.
It's Team ROTC.
Yeah,
okay, it's a bit different.
Yeah,
okay,
it's actually Team ROTC.
Okay, our YouTube channel, Team ROTC.
That's all, folks.
We will catch you guys next episode.
All right, see ya.